Hello, this is the Green Team's video on lists and tuples. So when it comes to lists and tuples, I think the best way to describe their functionality is by giving the definition for both. A list is a data structure in Python that is mutable or changeable ordered sequence of elements. Each element or value that is inside the list is called an item. Just as strings are defined as characters in quotes, lists are defined by having values between square brackets. Tuples, on the other hand, is a sequence of immutable Python objects. Tuples are sequences just like lists. The differences between tuples and lists are the tuples cannot be changed, unlike lists, and tuples use parentheses, whereas lists are square brackets. Creating a tuple is as simple as putting different comma-separated values. This basically means that lists and tuples are very similar. They both have ordered items within them. The only big difference is that with lists you have square brackets, and with tuples you have either no brackets or you could have parentheses. Also, tuples are immutable, so once you define them and you already know what's in them, you can't change what's inside. Another big difference is that a tuple is faster to use. So if you already know how long you need it to be and what is inside it and you don't want to change it, then it's more efficient to use a tuple. Other than that, the functionality of a list and a tuple are pretty similar. Here in this example, we have a list named list, and here, as you can see, it can hold an integer, a string, and a floating point number. Same with tuple. With a tuple, you can either write it without the parentheses or with the parentheses, and with a list, it has brackets. And here's the part where we get to sequences. When dealing with tuples or lists, the tuple or list starts counting from 0 and then goes 1, 2, and so on, depending on how big the list is. And this is a very important concept when it comes to accessing what's inside the list or tuple. So here we have a list of numbers, and it has the numbers 10, 2, 5, 9, and 7. And if we want to access that list of numbers, we just write the name list of numbers, and let's say in this example we want to access the number 5. We're going to put 2. And this is because 10 is in the 0 position, 2 is in the 1 position, and 5 is in the 2 position. So if I'm correct, it should give us the number 5, which it does right here. And if, let's say, we wanted to access the number going in reverse, in this case we would use print list of numbers, and let's say we wanted to access the same number 5, 7 would be -1, 9 would be -2, and 5 would be -3. Let's see if I'm right. Yeah, -3. Another thing we can do is check the length of a list. And the same can be done for a tuple. Here the functionalities are pretty similar. In this case we want to check the length. Then we run it. It's giving us the number 5, and the list is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items. Just to make sure, let's add another item. Let's say the number 3. And now the list would give, or the length of the list would give us 6. And then in this case, the number 3 changed to 9 because 9 is the new position. Because when you're going in reverse, it's -1, -2, and -3. So that gives you the length of the list. Another functionality you can do is sum up the list. Print that out. You get 36. Another thing you can do is have them sort it. So now it's 2, 3, 5, 7, 9, 10. You can do print max 10. Same could be done for the min. There you go, 2. And then another thing we could do is called sequential unpacking. So this is where you put every number in the list into a variable. So since there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers in the list, you can put those into variables, which is A, B, C, D, E, and F. And then it would equal So here in where I did list of numbers, I just did bracket colon bracket, and what that means is that it starts at the beginning of the list and goes all the way to the end of the list. And then it'll fill in A, B, C, D, E, and F as 10, 2, 5, 9, 7, 3 in the variables given, and this is what's known as sequential unpacking. And as you can see, once we print out, it gave us exactly what was in the list.